when a spoiled mafia girlfriend mocked a poor waitress in front of everyone. She thought it was just another night, but the next day, that same waitress walked into her mansion as the mafia boss's wife. The restaurant lights shimmered like diamonds, reflecting off crystal glasses and polished tables. It was a night no one in the city would forget. A tall man in a black tailored suit walked in, Lorenzo De Luca, the city's most feared mafia boss. The entire place went silent. Every waiter froze, every diner whispered. Everyone knew when Lorenzo De Luca entered a room, danger followed. At his side was Vanessa, his glamorous girlfriend, draped in gold and arrogance. Her beauty was undeniable, but so was her cruelty. She believed power made her untouchable, and tonight, she'd prove just how cruel she could be. When the waitress, Emma, approached with a soft smile to take their order, Vanessa sneered. "Do they just let anyone work here now?" she said loudly, scanning Emma's simple uniform and worn-out shoes. Lorenzo didn't react. His cold gray eyes stayed on the menu, but Emma felt his gaze linger just a little too long. Curious, maybe even interested. Trying to stay professional, Emma whispered, "Would you like to order, ma'am?" Vanessa laughed. "Order? Sweetheart, maybe clean your hands first. They look filthy." The whole restaurant snickered. Emma's cheeks burned red, but she stayed calm. She took the order, bowed slightly, and walked away with silent dignity. But what Vanessa didn't know, this quiet waitress would soon walk into her mansion as the mafia boss's wife. The night went on, but Lorenzo couldn't take his eyes off Emma. Her grace, her patience, and the way she didn't lash out even when humiliated. It intrigued him. He had met women with diamonds and silk, but never one with such quiet strength. When Vanessa excused herself to take a phone call, Lorenzo leaned toward Emma as she served dessert. "You don't deserve to be spoken to like that," he said softly. Emma blinked, surprised by the gentleness in his tone. "It's part of the job, sir. Some people think money gives them the right to treat others badly." Lorenzo smirked. "And you don't," Emma replied. "Respect isn't bought, sir. It's earned." That one sentence hit him harder than a bullet. For the first time, someone had spoken to him, not to his name, not to his power, but to him. Before leaving, Lorenzo slipped a business card into her apron pocket without a word. The next morning, Emma found it. A black card embossed with gold letters. Lorenzo De Luca, private contact. 2 days later, Emma's manager called her in. "There's a private catering event tonight. They requested you personally." Emma frowned. "Who?" "The De Luca mansion." Her heart nearly stopped. Why would the mafia boss himself request her? That evening, she dressed modestly and arrived at the mansion, a palace, surrounded by luxury cars and armed guards. Inside, the chandeliers sparkled brighter than the stars. Vanessa was there too, laughing among guests, completely unaware that the same waitress she had insulted was walking through her home. When Lorenzo saw Emma enter, his eyes softened. "You came." Emma hesitated. "You asked for me. I couldn't refuse." "Good," he said. "Stay close. You'll serve no one else tonight." Vanessa eventually noticed Emma, and her face turned pale with rage. "What is she doing here?" Lorenzo calmly replied, "She's my guest. Treat her with respect." The room went silent. Vanessa's smile vanished. For the first time, she realized her control over him was slipping. That night, as the event continued, Vanessa couldn't stop glaring at Emma. Every time Lorenzo spoke to Emma, Vanessa's jealousy burned deeper. When guests asked who the young woman beside the boss was, Lorenzo simply said, "Someone I trust." After the dinner ended, Lorenzo invited Emma to his private office. He poured her a glass of water and asked, "Tell me your story." Emma hesitated but finally spoke. "I grew up working to support my family. My father's sick, and every extra dollar goes to his medicine. That's why I never talk back. I can't afford to lose my job." Lorenzo's jaw tightened. For a man used to commanding armies, something about her honesty disarmed him completely. "You deserve more than this life," he said quietly. "I don't need more," she smiled. "I just need peace." And for the first time in years, Lorenzo, the mafia boss feared by all, felt something he hadn't felt in a long time. Peace. Days turned into weeks. Lorenzo began distancing himself from Vanessa. He stopped answering her calls, canceled her shopping trips, and avoided public events. Vanessa, furious and desperate, confronted him. Is it because of her, that waitress? She screamed. Lorenzo's voice was cold. She treats people better than you ever treated yourself. Vanessa's eyes filled with tears of rage. You'll regret this. But Lorenzo was done with fake love. He wanted someone who made him feel human again. Not powerful, not feared, just loved. Months passed. Emma never expected to see Lorenzo again. Until one morning, a black car pulled up outside her apartment. A man stepped out and said, "Mr. DeLuca requests your presence." She was taken to a beautiful garden filled with roses and white silk decorations. Confused, she looked around. Then Lorenzo appeared, wearing a white suit and holding a small velvet box. "Emma," he said, smiling gently, "I've lived a life full of darkness. You're the only light I've ever known. Will you marry me?" Tears welled in her eyes. "Lorenzo, I don't belong in your world." He took her hands. "You belong wherever your heart is safe, and mine's only safe with you." Without hesitation, she whispered, "Yes." Their wedding was private, quiet, and filled with genuine warmth, the kind Lorenzo's world had never known. The very next day, Vanessa stormed into the DeLuca mansion, determined to win him back. But when the butler opened the grand doors, she froze. There stood Emma, wearing a diamond ring and a calm smile. Vanessa's voice trembled. What are you doing here?" Emma smiled. "I live here now." Lorenzo appeared beside her and wrapped his arm around his new wife. "Vanessa, meet Mrs. DeLuca." Vanessa's knees went weak. She had mocked Emma for being a waitress, and now, the same woman stood in the place she once dreamed of. Without another word, Vanessa turned and walked away, defeated. As the doors closed, Lorenzo kissed Emma's forehead. "You handled that beautifully." Emma whispered, "Kindness is the best revenge, Lorenzo." He smiled. "And you, my love, are my sweetest justice." Never underestimate people based on where they are, because one act of cruelty can come back in ways you'd never imagine. True strength lies not in power or wealth, but in kindness, humility, and grace.